Hello, hello, hello. I have a beautiful Play-Doh here. It was hard to get this out of the jar. It was sticking to the jar, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to come out in one piece. It's a good sign that it was sticking to the jar because it is extra soft and squishy. And it smells heavenly, as always, as Play-Doh always smells. It comes in two colors, an off-white, which is a beautiful, beautiful creamy color. Beautiful, gorgeous. And this gorgeous, 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 yummy pink. Look at this yummy pink. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I experimented with different clays, and I also bought a sparkling material at the Dollar Tree store the other day. And I wanted to make that astronaut dog with the sparkling clay, but then I'm glad I tested that first in the kitchen. And I saw that the sparkling material, which is really, it's a material that it's like really fluffy and lightweight and nice, but then it kind of falls apart, almost like this quicksand dough that you can buy, a little bit on that order. And I decided I'm not gonna make a figure out of that. That's way too difficult. I could definitely not do this here in front of the video. It would constantly fall on my computer. I would have to do this on the counter, and it was kind of difficult. I tried to mold something out of it, but it was constantly falling apart, so that wouldn't work for the astronaut dog. And then I realized, I have made dogs out of Play-Doh materials and generic Play-Doh materials, but all of those actually contain wheat flour, which is weird. We shouldn't be making stuff out of food. There are so many hungry animals and people in the world, so they should make it out of a sawdust powder, whatever there is, like scraps from factories, scraps of wood chips or garden clippings. That's very good. Garden clippings are very, very good for something like this. And save all of that, save all of these garden clippings and the wood chips and put them into some kind of paper mill and mill that into a powder. And people could do this if they wanted to, and they can put something in it like some kind of adhesive material that can be even derived out of plants, an adhesive glue type of materials, like from potato starch, for example. That's how they used to make paper mache in the past, and that was pre-oil drilling era, when they made stuff out of natural materials like plants and clays, which was much better for the environment, for the planet. So they could do something like this. They can I mean, if I had a factory, that's what I would be doing. I would be only putting natural materials in it, into a milling machine. Would have a powder that would come out, and I would have that powder go through another machine, through a mixing machine, a processor. I would put potato starch in it, or whatever, any kind of plant starch, or maybe even some natural clays mixed in with it. So there are possibilities, to figure out how to make a clay material like this here, natural and safe. They say it's non-toxic. It's for little children also. But then, where does this pink come from? It doesn't come from red beets, and the white doesn't come from kaolin clay. No, they want to skip the costs. They want to make this as cheap as possible, so they get their stuff from. They get whatever petrochemical side products and artificial colors. Still smells amazing and reminds me of my childhood, because we have already used this when we were little children, and that was one of my most absolute favorite material in the world, even though it cracks when it dries, so like Death Valley. And that's not like something that a professional artist who makes, let's say an artist who makes sculptures like that look realistic. Not what I do. I don't make realistic stuff. So for me, it doesn't matter very much if it cracks. I can fill this in with glue. I can fill the cracks in with acrylic paint. It's not that big of a deal to have these cracks in there. But if you want to make something realistic, like a realistic looking horse, for example, these cracks would be very unpleasant when they happen, because they distort the very finely chiseled figure. So beautiful. Now this is an even more delicious color. Now comes out of this. It's pure joy. Absolutely love it. I love Play-Doh. Play-Doh is my favorite one, also more favorite than the generics, because it smells so incredibly good, even though it has synthetic stuff in it mixed in with the flour, but it smells amazing, absolutely heavenly, and it's great. But if I was to make something like this, I would definitely make it out of natural ingredients. Ingredients that if a dog would eat them, that would not bother the dog at all, would actually have some nutritional value in it. Because I know dogs like everything and any of these things. If this falls on the floor, the chances are high that any dog, would pick that up and eat it. Baby dog would probably eat it. It was very relaxing also. Really nice the way this looks. So awesome. Awesome, absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Reminds me a little bit of the paintings by Francis Bacon from England. Francis Bacon lived around the World War II era, and he made oil paintings, and he always painted raw meat that would be hanging from the ceiling in some really desolate room that only had a very pale light bulb hanging off the ceiling. Incandescent, pale light bulb on some kind of cord, and that's all there is to it in this room. There's nothing else in the room, just dirty walls and a dirty floor, and then meat hook and some raw meat hanging off, and the meat would look like, a lot of times the meat would look like a real large cow that was split apart. Thank you, Blue God 1111. Blue God protects us. Yes. Paul has to get through, so I have to turn around. Okay. And I have the disco lights on, both disco lights, the one in the corner there. That is also really, really nice. Yes. There's my baby. And then the big disco light. No, they're both the same size, but the one in the corner does only lights up the corner, and the one over there lights up the entire hallway. So, and looks amazing. Absolutely. That one looks like I think they're different types. They have different colors in them. This has more pink, this has more blue and purple, and this one looks like space, like out of space, nebula whirling around. I absolutely love it. There's so many things that I could do. Paul and I talked about this earlier. The kind of stuff we could do, we could make. We would have a factory, kind of stuff we would create, amazing stuff. But we don't have the funds for it. So I would make my own dog food, kibble bits, all natural, all completely healthy, organic, wild harvested stuff in it. Mainly vegetarian, of course. Maybe a little bit turkey, a little bit chicken in it. But mainly plant-based. Could have eggshells in it. Eggshells are good for dogs. So you can grind all of that up in a processor into a paste, and then it will come out in little kibble bits like this. Easy to chew, easy to eat. All of that stuff is good. Eggshells are a side product, of course, and you can probably get broken up eggshells from different vendors. Or if that doesn't exist yet, then it should come into existence. People should be saving this and bagging it and selling it to people who want to make all natural dog food. So that would be really fantastic, because eggshells are full of nutrients and calcium and stuff. And I would also put white kaolin clay into the dog food. I would put diatomaceous earth into the dog food, kelp seaweed, and sodium bentonite clay, calcium bentonite clay. I'm also taking calcium bentonite clay now. It's really absolutely supreme, super 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 material. Any bentonite clay is absolutely ultra, is outerworldly amazing. Completely detoxes the body. It brooms out the system. It cleanses your liver, your bloodstream, cleans your kidneys, your brain, everything. It's amazing stuff. So put all of that in. Definitely, kelp seaweed, very important for the teeth. We haven't been to the dentist anymore since we started on the kelp seaweed. Our dogs, Paul and myself, we haven't. The dogs never had to have their teeth cleaned. They have sparkling white teeth. We had just known that. In the beginning, when Kenny was still a puppy, our albino Great Dane, that was the only dog I ever had who grew up with me from a baby, from 3 months old. So I know the baby dog was also a baby. They misdiagnosed his age because he was mistreated in Southern California and put on death row, and the lady from this area went down there and rescued him together with some other dogs, and they were all pretty beaten up and scratched with all kinds of wounds on them and undernourished, horrifically, absolutely horrific. So they didn't know what his real age was. But when we got him and we brought his health back to peak performance, and he was already had ultra energy, even though he was completely scratched up and all of that. But all of that healed up, and he gained weight, got even more, had even more muscles, even had so much power. He can actually jump backwards. He literally flies through the air. That is how much strength he has. Yes, baby dog, you have infinite power. He flies through the air like deer. He's amazing. Yes, you are amazing. And you are a pure soul. And so, we got him to gain weight and have maximum happiness and health. And then we realized he was still a baby, really. He was still I would say a year. He was a year old. He was still teething. He was still chewing stuff up constantly. Those dogs are heavy chewers, the Staffordshire. So for anyone who is interested in a Staffy or a Bulldog or a Bull Terrier, any of those medium-sized short-haired guard dog types, pit bull types, be very aware that they chew everything up. You have to monitor them 24 hours per day. And they don't know better, don't get mad at them. I keep repeating this because this is very important. They don't know better. They have to chew stuff. Okay? You have to have pieces of tree branches, a foot long. You cut them into foot long pieces, arms thick tree branches, and you have to make sure you cut all the side branches off and you smooth it so that they don't hurt themselves on that. And then that they make perfect chew bones. Perfect. There is a kitty out there. He didn't see the kitty. If he saw the kitty, you'd go completely berserk right now. Yeah. They are very, very hyperactive and highly agitated when they see other animals. They get very, very excited. So people need to know what kind of dog they get. When they make the decision to get a specific dog, you need to know what kind of dog you want to have in your lifestyle. Staffordshires, Pit Bulls, Amstaff. He's an Amstaff, American Staffordshire. But that's exactly how he looks like and is. So we had to research that for a long time. And they need a lot of exercise. They have to have a lot of exercise. So they can't be boxed up in a house or like not get enough space or something. They have to have a lot of space to roam around at all times. They have to have water to drink at all times, food. He has food at all times. And he has these tree branch pieces to chew on. You also have to spend time with them. You have to do activities. Hiking is very good. You have to play with them. You have to cuddle with them a lot. It's very important. Very important. I keep repeating this because it is so important. These are highly sensitive animals, highly sensitive dogs, pit bull type dogs, highly sensitive. And then see what some people are doing with them, making them fight and stuff like this is absolutely horrific. All of this will come to an end when Elon Musk's robots are here. They're going to bring an end to all of this, the horror in the world. And the greyhound racing and all of that unbelievable horror. They will bring an end to it. Yeah, I can't wait for the robots. I'm waiting with hope and anticipation. Yeah, the stuff we could make, we had the funds, we had a factory to make all of this stuff, make our own healthy dog food, ethical dog food, not tested on dogs, not tested in laboratories, unethical, cruel laboratories, never tested on any being. This cruel metabolic tests that they do on dogs for most dog food. Absolute horror. It's absolute horror. I've signed so many petitions in this regard already. I keep signing the petitions. I've also written numerous letters on my own to legislators around the world. Yeah. IAMS and Yukonuba are the absolute worst in this regard, in regards to testing, like laboratory, metabolic testing on dogs and cats. They're the absolute worst. They need to be shut down. Yeah, I would make healthy, ethical dog food that is good for dogs, healthy for dogs, makes them live long, makes them feel good, be healthy, and happy. Okay. And good for the environment, ethical, and for an affordable price. So the healthy dog food that's out there is like, it's like $100 for a 28-pound bag of kibble sauce. That's not okay. It's not okay at all. It's not okay because only a handful of people will buy that. People who have so much money that they don't know what to do with it. And people who have a good heart buy that dog food. But people who don't have that kind of money available, they can't afford something like the Honest Kitchen. I've bought some of that. I still have some. It's actually in a powder. You have to mix that up, but I noticed that that's not even the most practical form. Dog food should come in very manageable pieces, like little kibble pieces, like the size of half of a tablet, or even tablet size pieces. And that's easy to manage. You can scoop that out, you can put it in the dish and they eat it. So that's so much easier than a powder that you have to mix up with water first, and so that's not very practical. But I want to use that up as well because that's good stuff. It's good. That's healthy. It was very expensive. The Honest Kitchen is hopefully honest. One never knows, but that seems to be very good dog food. But it's not practical in powder form, so I would definitely make kibble bits that are easy to use. I would also make chew bones out of that same material, or make chew bones where you might mix some herbs in with it into that powder, and then have a machine form it into like chew bones or sticks or something, or bars, or something like this. That would be pretty cool. A dog treat. Oh, he saw the cat. Oh boy. Oh. Yes, there is a kitty out there. Yes, there is a kitty. There is a kitty. She lives there. Yes, there is a kitty out there. And we don't have to get so incredibly agitated over that. But that's what they do. They get extremely agitated when they see a cat. He killed a cat. I don't think he wanted to kill the cat. He just wanted to have the cat as a playmate, and the cat would always run away. So finally he grabbed onto the cat, and that killed the cat. And I don't think he meant to kill the cat. But so people need to know before they get the dog what kind of temperament the dog has, what kind of personality, character. What kind of needs they have, So European Basset Hounds are way different. But they can take off too. If they see a little animal, wild animal, they'll take off. And they will go under brushes because they're very short. They were bred for that purpose, to assist hunters in the poultry hunt. They would go under brushes where people can't go under, or the tall dogs can't go under. And they'll go in there way deep into a brush, and they will bring a fallen bird back and put it at the feet of the hunter. That's what they do. Papa dog ran off one time because he saw an animal. He got out. They have very narrow heads, European Basset Hounds. And Paul made the mistake of putting a neck collar on him that we had on him during the day, like a day collar. Then he made the terrible mistake of taking him like that down to the mailbox. And that was just a few days after we had rescued him. And he wasn't really listening to us yet very much. So he pulled his head out of that neck collar by going backwards and pulling, and his head is so narrow that the neck collar was sliding easily just off his head. And then he ran after that animal and ran and ran and ran and ran and ran after that little animal deep into the forest. Paul came back here. He said the papa ran off. I was completely freaking out. We drove over there with the van. We brought the chest harness with us, and we hollered, "David, come back," for for a long time. "David, come back." A man in his socks, an old man with a very long white beard, came out of his house in socks, and he said, "Are you looking for your dog?" And we said yes. And as soon as that guy came out of his house, I guess Papa Dog, Dave, must have heard that commotion, and he also heard me calling for him, David, because he was David Foster Wallace in his past life. So he responded to David. The foster mothers told me that as well. So, and I could intuitively sense it, that he is the reincarnation. I could already see it from the photo. And then they told me some stuff that was totally affirmed that as well. That he responds to the name David. So of course then I called him David Foster Wallace, because that was his last incarnation. And I am wishing and hoping that he will come back as another European Basset Hound. So that's what I'm wishing for, because I miss the Papa Dog infinitely much. And that's the right dog for me, because they're very, very easygoing. They go up and down the stairs without falling. They're very bottom heavy. Great Danes are very top heavy. Kenny fell down the stairs 2 times. After the second time I said, this is it. We have to bring this very heavy bed that we had upstairs in the master bedroom. We had to move this very, 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 very heavy king-size bed down there. It was real hard even also to bring that bed upstairs. So it was a little bit easier to bring it down, so we brought it down, and we didn't let Kenny go upstairs anymore. So particularly when the hips get bad later on, and then it's like impossible for them to go up the stairs, and very dangerous for them to go upstairs. So, but the Papa Dog had no problems going up the stairs. He was going up the stairs very slowly, up and very slowly down because he has very short legs and a long body, but he had no problems. So he never fell, he never slid down or anything. That was easy for him. He just had to walk up very slow, one step at a time. But he liked doing that, so. But then later on I decided I don't want to live in a home anymore that has different levels of living space. So I don't want to have stairs to go up on anymore. Also for Paul, he's getting older and he has poor balance, so I don't want him going upstairs. So we have to have just one floor level home, and that's what we want to get when we get the barn house and the greenhouse. So that would be really nice, really awesome. Yes, look, that looks so nice. The beautiful pink colors of that disco light. It's very gorgeous. I'm not allowed to show Paul. This looks good. This looks like it's glowing. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. The computer light itself is lighting this up and it's glowing beautifully. So nice. Yeah, so I experimented with these different clays and stuff and materials. Also that glue that we got that I wanted to use to fill some of the compartments of the spaceships with. But that glue kinda, the water evaporates out of it and then it's just like one, kinda like just one layer of material on it. It didn't fill it out. I have to use clear caulking for that, which stays in its shape. That's what I want to use for the spaceship at the other house. Alien Spaceship 4 will have some clear caulking filling in that fills in those very toxic, artificially colored marshmallows that I put into the compartments with the glue. That's one big mess. Looks like vomit. But that doesn't bother it at all. That's nice. That's part of the alien spaceship. They have all kinds of gluey and gooey stuff on their spaceship. That holds their eggs, for the incubation of the alien eggs. Oh yeah, I also used some of the silicone caulking on my artwork called Alien Eggs. I used an egg carton that I glued and taped on the top of another cardboard box, and then I painted it, and also I put some pieces of jello type of material on it, and that looks kind of weird, and then I put that silicone caulking over it to give this transparent gooey look. Looks nice. It's a beautiful painting, real beautiful artwork. Alien eggs. So yeah, and I decided, yeah, I have made dogs out of this material before. Also for my, there is my alien spaceship 1 over there. Yeah, I'm gonna go over there. I'll show this real quick. Looks absolutely gorgeous here by the window. No, have it here by the window. Yes, I have some dogs there, like here in the front there is a dog. Okay. But the stuff cracks and it's very hard to work with. So I decided for the Astronaut Leica, which was Sandy's idea for me to make the Astronaut Leica into a figure. It's a great idea. So I want to use Sculpey, because Sculpey, when you use Sculpey, it's more expensive. I have a whole bunch of that at the other house. I have like, how much do I have? Like 4 or 5 times the amount of this here in Sculpey actually. That is like an off-white, like a base foundation Sculpey, and that stuff that's really nice. When you sculpt something with that, it doesn't crack and it doesn't change its shape, the molded shape that you molded it into. It stays like this, and no cracking, and it's very nice. And that's better to use that for the astronaut dog Leica. So I'm gonna do that, make a video of that at the other house pretty soon. So I'm gonna do that. So I bought a bunch of these here. I still have like, I don't know, like three more of these Play-Dohs on the counter. I'm gonna make astronauts with them because that's an easy shape, and if that cracks, it's easy to fill in. For a dog shape, it also, I have, when I made the dogs with the Play-Doh that I have on the Alien Spaceship 1, that the heads would like kind of flop down and even break off. So this is not the ideal material for it. So, but to make it out of Sculpey, that would be really, that will definitely work. And the only problem is Sculpey, if you just let it air cure, it doesn't really dry on the air, so it stays kind of rubbery, and it could get easily dented because it stays kind of soft. So I mean the material is not soft in the way where it would change shape, but it can easily be dented, and it can still be molded. Actually, it can be molded in your hand again, so as like raw oil clay, for example, for children, that never hardens, which is okay for children and to use, and they can reuse it, make something else with it. But if you want to make a sculpture out of it and have that as an artwork and have that forever in that shape and have it also secured so that it doesn't get dented in, then you have to actually put it into the oven, and it has to be heated up for like 15 minutes, I think, on 100 or 150 degrees or something like this. I forgot now how high the temperature has to be. But for my sculptures, I I have already made some stuff out of sculptures, and I didn't put it in the oven. I just painted over it, even though it still had this still moldable consistency, but I painted over it and it came out very well. So that's what I'm planning on doing for the astronaut dog Leica. I'm gonna make that out of Sculpey, and I'm gonna let it just air cure, and then I'm gonna paint it. You know, my artwork is kind of sensitive, and anyway, all of these figures are kind of sensitive anyway, so you don't want to drop them or something, or you don't want to accidentally scrape something against my painting, because my paintings are made out of styrofoam plates, insulating plates actually, and this one here has this insulating layer, wall size styrofoam layer. It didn't fit into the van, or when did we get this? Yeah, it was the van. It didn't fit into the van because it's like 8 feet long, this piece here. So we had to cut it in half to fit it in the van so it doesn't get completely crumpled and crushed. So, but it's okay, I made 2 pieces out of it. That's alright. So, yeah, but it's sensitive, you know. You can't fall against it. So, because if you fall against it, it will definitely dent it in. The styrofoam pieces will brittle out. That's not good. But, you know, it doesn't matter. You know. Whoever adopts my artwork after I'm gone, you have to be very, very gentle with it. You have to treat this very, very, very well. You have to baby my artwork. That's what you have to do. It has to sit in different safe places. Safe places on the wall. You can't be partying next to that and do a lot of kissing with your lover and fall against my artwork. That's not gonna work. You can't be playing around with these sculptures. And if you do, because you want to play around with them and do a psychological role play, which I have done, you have to be very gentle with them. You have to just handle them very gently. Hello, hello, hello. I am an astronaut. Yes, over there is Alien Spaceship 1. Those are my bodies. Yes. I'm the new baby here. Yes. I'm gonna go on to Alien Spaceship 5. That is the last one that Nicola is making us. Yes. New baby for Alien Spaceship 5. I have love handles here, as you can see. But I'm leaving those love handles. Yes. Just to get even with the haters. Yes. Because they don't like love handles. Yes, that's how it is. It looks absolutely awesome. All of this here. Absolutely awesome. I also have a green and I have a purple. That is awesome. Very awesome. Awesome purple. And I have another color. Some kind of... I have one green and one purple, 2-colored, and then another one that's 2-color. So make astronauts out of all of them, because it's so much fun to do this. So much fun, even though it cracks, but it's so much fun to work with this. Absolutely fantastic. Feels like marshmallow. Absolutely amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah, we need a material now that feels like this, and it's easy to work with, maybe even a little bit lighter weight, and material that doesn't crack. So that's need a better material that doesn't crack, that hardens into a rubbery but hardened, like shape consistent material where it doesn't get dented and where it doesn't dissolve again into something else, and that you can paint with acrylic paint. So that's what we need. I wonder if that exists already. It should exist already, I don't know. It probably cost more. I don't know, I haven't seen that stuff yet. Baby dog, easy, no, come on now, easy, easy. Baby dog, easy, 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 easy. They completely freak out. Completely go berserk. When they see a cat, they go berserk. And then he runs around and slides on the linoleum floor and scatters over it, and oh my goodness, you guys see this? Oh my goodness, a kitty out there, oh my goodness. And then he scratches on the balcony door. Yes, there is a kitty. Oh my goodness, yes. That is exciting, is that? Yes, oh my goodness, that is so exciting. Yes, that is very exciting, is that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, is that exciting? A kitty down there. Yes. They absolutely like that. One of the neighbors has a bunch of cats, and he always sits up there, up high, next to the neighbor's fence, and waits there until the cats come out of his house, and then he runs back and forth on the fence, along the fence. The neighbor, he's very, very nice, and he gives him cookies, dog cookies. Very nice. So happy about the neighbors. The neighbors are nice. Very great. That's another present from the infinite cosmos. All of these things are not for granted. You know, good neighbors are not for granted. It's a present when we have good neighbors that you can count on, you can rely on. So it's wonderful. Peaceful neighbors. Retirement people. People who want peace too. It's nice to have that. Okay, so yeah, what else did I want to say in this video? We need to practice gratitude. Okay, very, very important. I talk about this again and again and again and again. Okay, so you guys take care. Peace and love for all living beings.